Hello my friends, Renate here, coming to you live. And as I said, it's kind of an impromptu broadcast, talking about some of the concerns, some of the questions I get from clients, prospective clients, friends, people I meet. And well, how is everybody doing? Just wait a few more minutes, because I think I said 10 minutes, so I'm like 2 minutes early. And I hope it's not too noisy here. It seems like everyone who is in construction is in front of my place right now, and they are resurfacing the road. It looked pretty all right, but so there's lots of machinery out there, lots of noise. So at least, some people are busy, they have their jobs. I'm on day 13, day 14 of self-imposed home isolation after I came back from Europe. So I just wanted to make sure not to pass on anything to clients or friends or anyone I just encounter. So basically the only time I get outside, really leave the house and go away, is when I go to the supermarket. And I hope everyone is safe, everyone is following the instructions, like wash your hands and stuff, which is kind of funny, because when I grew up we were taught that we have to wash our hands before meals, after the toilet, after taking out the garbage. And when I grew up, we thought 2020 would be the year when we have like flying cars, like Batman cars and stuff like this. But lo and behold, now we have to teach how to wash our hands. Okay, so I think it's like the 10 minutes I said. So thank you for being here, watching me on Facebook. And the best way to never miss one of the trainings or my live casts is to follow me, to subscribe to Renate Facebook, renate.prandl.1. This is where I usually go live. So if you're watching me from any other usually watching me from any other of my accounts or from Instagram, this one here is where I usually go live. I know it's a bit complicated, excuse me, but that's how it is. Okay, so I don't want to take too much of your time. I know we all have a lot of time. Well, not all, which means before I start, I also want to give a big thank you with gratitude from the heart to all the people out there on the frontier, right, who are out there helping and supporting others. It's doctors, nurses, drivers, people in supermarkets, in warehouses, cleaners, anyone who is out there, helping and supporting and putting themselves second and serving the greater good and serving the community. Thank you from the heart. Okay, now let's go. You might be in home isolation, you might still work, you might be in quarantine, so I hope you are okay and you have a lot of time. And what I noticed is lots of people, they just waste their time. They just are rolled up on the couch, on the sofa, watching Netflix stupid videos over and over again. People, I have to tell you, this is the time to really buckle up, to really skill up. Once we get through this, there might be a race for jobs. We know people we not only lose lives, we lose jobs as well. Businesses close. So skill up, do the things you have already wanted to do. And if you don't know how to do it, now is really the time to get a job, to get a mentor or a coach. And as you might know, I'm a high performance coach, I'm a health coach, I'm also a Feldenkrais practitioner, helping people overcome obstacles and turning them into stepping stones. It's physical obstacles, it's emotional obstacles. I strongly believe that we have to address the person as a whole. So if you have physical ailments, they have an impact on your emotional well-being and vice versa. So whatever we do, even so we maybe focus on, in Feldenkrais, sometimes we focus on pain because people come to see me because of back pain. But very often the real reason why they have back pain is inflammation in the body, the way they eat, the way they sit, the way they move, the way they feel about themselves. So we have to look at the whole picture. So that's why I love being a coach. And guess what? Coach is just another fancy word for teacher, right? I'm here teaching you how to get the best out of yourself, for your loved ones, for your family, and for your team. So a few questions, and please feel free to ask any questions here. I have my reading glasses on so I can see what you write. Take friends, who need to know this, who maybe are sitting at home completely lost and like, what is she talking about? What is Renate talking about? Does she want to sell her services? You know what? I will offer the chance for a strategy session during this video, but you don't have to buy anything, right? I'm not here to sell you my coaching program or my books. I'm really here to address some of the concern and make you think, to get out of this fear and this sense of scarcity, like, oh my God, I'm losing my job, I don't have a lot of money. How can I really possibly invest in myself, in my personal growth, and get a mentor, get a coach? So here we go. So one of the things I hear very often, oh Renate, I so love what you do. I get so inspired by your broadcasts, and can you help me with this one? Because you know what? I love it, but your coaching program, it's not for me. And by the way, I took some notes, otherwise I talk for 2 hours. It's not for me and it's too expensive. Now, first of all, thank you for finding value in the things I teach. And the things I teach here are for a broad variety of people with different backgrounds. So in a personal coaching session, it's the framework, but it's addressed to your situation. But I guess certain things are valid for everyone. So thank you for finding my teaching, my ideas, my frameworks, my high performance tools, my Feldenkrais approach valuable. Now, when they say, I love what you do, but it's not for me, why do you think so? And you know what? It turns out that really successful people, they very rarely have this mindset of, oh, that's not for me. Probably it's not for you at this moment, but what about changing the mindset for like, I'm scared, it's kind of challenging, physically, emotionally, financially, whatever, but I can make it work. What can I get out of it? So those self-limitations, they really prevent you from taking this next step to this next level. Because if you want to be successful, you have to step up. You have to be the leader. If you're just like everyone else, that's great. But if you want to lead, if you want to be different, you have to take action and step it up. So the self-limitation is something we don't find very often in really successful people, because successful people, leaders, they are open-minded. They are like, oh, that's interesting. Let's see what it can do for me, what I can get out of it. So, and they are really curious. So just ask yourself, are you curious? Are you open-minded? Or are you rather a person, if you hear a concept or if you're confronted with an idea, a situation, it's like, oh, well, that's not for me. It might not be for you, but you only know when you give it a go, when you look at it, when you give it a go in the sense of you try it, right? So, are you open-minded? Are you curious? These are traits of successful people in any field, whether it's in business, whether it's in sports, in the arts, anyone who is a leader, who is on the forefront. So are you one of those? And if not, I challenge you. If the answer is no, I really challenge you to stop, to decide to stop self-limitation. I know it sounds like, how do I do this? How can I do this? Well, for starters, if you notice that something is brought to your attention and your first reaction is, this is rubbish, that's not for me, this will never work, think again. How can you reframe this? Like, it might not be the right thing for you right now, or you don't see the advantages or the benefits right now, but what could you get out of it if you gave it some time, some dedication, and if you did it? It's like, oh, this fitness program is not for me. Who says so? It might be true, but you might still get some things out of it. And by the way, one of the homeworks, the tasks I give you, because if you want to succeed, if you want to step up as a leader, it's not enough to know things conceptually, you have to do things. And lots of people, if you're one of those, like, self-limitation and, feeling frustrated because of the situation and being in fear and, lack of courage and talking to yourself in a very negative way, I challenge you to do something like this. It's like your current situation. So you basically have to take a piece of paper. You can do it now or you can do it later. You take a piece of paper, your current situation, and on one side you write all the things that suck right now. It could be like, can't see my friends, can't go out, can't go to party, can't play tennis, cannot be on stage, cannot give my speeches, cannot be in a really live mastermind. And then on the second half you write all the positive aspects you find. And you can do this, the current situation in general, what sucks and what is great. You can do it in something specific, maybe in a relationship. Think of a relationship, what sucks, what is the positive aspect. When it comes to your health and the current situation, your health, your fitness, your well-being, your physical, your mental, emotional well-being, what really sucks in the situation right now in your current state, and what's positive, what can you do, what can you see, something positive. Maybe you cannot run, but you have some more time to focus on your nutrition. You have more time to focus on the bits and pieces of walking and running in a more efficient way, like things we do in Feldenkrais. Okay, got it? So, another thing I hear very often, oh, Renate, this doesn't work. All the stuff you say is fantastic, but I can never do this because I'm not as disciplined as you are. And discipline is one of the things, we kind of like, ooh, discipline, it has a very negative connotation sometimes. But discipline does not have to be like punishment. Discipline helps you to get organized. Discipline means you have your day laid out. You have your day planned. Even now, if you're at home, if you looked at my calendar, I have blocked time for exercise. I blocked time for those trainings. I blocked time for learning some things. I blocked time to do another coaching training and certification. So I block time. Because if you go with the flow and you just do the things when you feel like it, this does not create the momentum you need to move forward. You might feel busy, or at the end of the day I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. I didn't get anything done, but I watched like 10 hours on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, but I know people do. So discipline is really, really important. It's more important than ever. So use this time with discipline. Plan out your day, every single day. Take your calendar and put your appointments with yourself. Like if you had an appointment with a boss, if you had an appointment with a doctor, put in the appointment with like, this is the time I exercise. I stretch, I do some breathing exercises, I do some yoga, I do some weights, and you can do all that stuff in the comfort of your home. You don't have to go to a gym, you don't need any fancy equipment. You can roll on the floor, you can activate your spine, your nervous system by doing Feldenkrais moves. So anything can be done at home, but be disciplined. Block time is one of the things we teach in high performance coaching. If things are not in your calendar, they will not happen because life interferes. There are other meetings, there are telephone calls. Right now you're on Zoom, there is lots of distraction and things don't get done. So use your time wisely now, block the time and do the things which further your career, which further your performance in any area. Could be like something you can skill up for your business, you can skill up for your personal growth, you can skill up some strategies to really work on your relationship with your significant other or your kids or your parents. Use the time wisely. So block time. I just take this down that it's already done. And by the way, if you have questions, please ask them here because this is for free, right? So if your concern is you're too expensive, your coaching is too expensive, you can ask the questions right now for free. All right. So yeah, discipline. And guess what? If you think coaching is not for you, and again, it doesn't have to be me as your coach. Just grab someone who really kicks your butt a little bit, but also cheers you on. I like high performance coaching because it addresses the whole person. It's the physical, the mental, the financial wellness, so everything. That's what I like. And also, like when it comes to discipline, you don't have to do everything in the same speed, the speed I do. You choose, you decide for yourself what is the speed of implementation. The thing is, when you do coaching, you have a framework and you are pushed to do things in a way like, at least you keep the momentum going because success loves speed. If you say, well, I do this when I feel like it, I do this in a month from now, this is not when change happens. Change needs speed, change needs momentum. And then when you're in a coaching program, this helps you keep moving. And the more you move, the easier it gets, right? It's like in sports. Sometimes, when people are really unfit, it's really hard, to move the butt and to move the body. But once you are in there, you feel a bit lighter, you feel different mentally, you have more joy, and it gets much easier. Okay. Now, another concern is it's maybe too expensive. Guess what? People don't even know how much it is, how much the investment is, and still they assume it will be so expensive, right? Coaching, you cannot just buy my coaching. It's by application only, like if you applied for a top university, if you applied to get into Harvard. I cannot take everyone, and I want to make sure that you are coachable, that you follow something. And some of the sessions might not be for the faint-hearted. It's pushing you outside your comfort zone. But this is what a good coach does. Telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you just want to hear the things, if you just, if you prefer to hear the things you like and want to hear, then have coffee or virtual coffee with a friend, right? They very often tell you what you want to hear. But a coach tells you, can I put a question? How can we, hi, Shafakat Tanoli, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Thanks for the question. How can we stay consistent and committed to goals and schedules? Yes, a great question. Committed is you choose to be committed. You choose to be committed every single day, and you put your goals out there. First of all, you're clear, what are your goals, right? So what are your goals? And you write them down. You write down your goals and you are very specific. It could be like, I want to make $1 million in the next, 12 months. I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to have a more connected relationship and talk more with my loved one. So you're really specific, because the more specific we are, the mind and your brain, they make sure that you do the things necessary to make them happen. So get clear what your goals are. You choose to be consistent. You do daily actionable things. Like I mentioned before, you put the things in your calendar. So you have your goals very in detail. put a timeline there as well. It's not a goal and indefinite, it will happen sometime. You have to put a goal there, and then you work backwards. So if you say, I want to reach this goal in, say, 6 months or 12 months, then you work backwards. What do I have to have accomplished in 10 months or 4 months, whatever you prefer? You work backwards to now. And then you write down steps you know you have to do this, and you pick one and focus on this one. Apply it. Put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar. It could be a real calendar, like a book, like I have here, and also put the things into your phone as a reminder, like stay consistent or do this. And this is being constantly reminded, having the mindset. You're really honing in on it. This helps you to stay on track. Great question. Thank you so much. I hope this serves you. All right. So, talking about investment. So, basically, you can only get into my coaching if we have a call before a strategy session, if I think you are a good fit or we can work together, because I don't want to waste neither your money nor your time. And my question is, how much is your growth, your personal, professional growth worth? How much is it worth? Is it $1, $10? The same in coaching. There are lots of coaching programs out there. I see on Facebook, it's like, oh, it's $10 and you get certified. Maybe you have heard this saying, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. And I'm not saying, that everything is bad. And we all, have offers from time to time where we offer our best programs at a ridiculously low price. But it's also like, who is the coach? Are they trained? Are they qualified? Have they been there? Is it just something they learn in a weekend? Or have they gone through? For me, I have been a coach and teacher my whole professional life. I used to be a professor at a commercial college and a business school. I taught business, I taught business in English, and I taught physical education, because it was always body and brain. It's always like the body and the brain, they have to be at the very, very best, right? And I have gone through a lot. I have moved to a different continent. I'm from Austria, from Europe. So I live in Asia. I live in Singapore. I lived in the US for a while. So I got to deal with different environment, with different culture, with my business coming to a standstill, building some new businesses from scratch. Health-wise, being an athlete, when we trained, lots of our trainers, they were not qualified trainers. They took crash courses, and some of the things we learned and practiced were not really great for my spine, for my back. So I had lots of back issues. That's one of the reasons why I became a Feldenkrais practitioner and why I'm so passionate about making health a priority and taking care of your back. Because if you're in back pain, if you have back pain and you cannot move, it impacts everything. Your psyche, the way you show up, the way you move, your mood, everything. Right? So for me, whether I am working as a sports coach, as a Feldenkrais practitioner, or as a high performance coach, for me, the whole picture, the whole person is important. And it's about lifestyle. There are no quick fixes. And if somebody tells you you can change everything in like a day or a week, yeah, things happen, those aha moments. But in general, if you want lasting change, the change has first of all to come from within, and it takes some time, some dedication to stay consistent and committed to the goals and schedules. So again, coming back to this, put them in your calendar on a daily basis. Once you know what your goals are, set some reminders. I love to set some alarms on my phone, just to stay focused and really honing in what's important. Okay, coming back to the investment. So anyone watching here, do you have a car? Well, I have a car. I have a fancy car. I love it. So maybe you have a car. What car do you have? What brand do you have? Do you have just a car taking you from A to be from to your destination, from where you are to your destination? Or do you have a fancy car? Do you maybe have a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, or another sports car? Why is that? Both cars are just vehicles, right? Taking you from where you are to where you want to be. But why did you pick like a sports car? Why did you pick an expensive car? Maybe because for me it's like I like the feeling of it, the acceleration. I like the sound of it. It looks cool. And it's not just about you. It's not for me, for my ego to show off. I just love it, right? So the same with coaching. Do you want to have a coach who says, well, how has it been? How is it going? What do you want to talk about today? That's lots of life coaching is about. Or do you want to have high performance coaching where we have a schedule, a framework? So every module, every session, we have a certain area to look on. One is about, we start with clarity, because if you're not clear what your goals are, what are we talking about? Do you have the energy? How can you generate the energy, right? And courage, fear, all the concerns holding you back. How can you be more productive? How can you be of more influence? How can you have a life of purpose? So every module has a framework, and then we bring your specific situation into it. We deal with it. That's why I really love it. So this is one of the differences between high performance coaching and just any other coaching. And yeah, it's more expensive probably than a $1 or $10 thing. But again, it's your choice. Do you want the Skoda? And I'm sorry, Skoda, they have great cars now. Or do you want the Ferrari or the, whatever car you like, right? It's up to you. It's your choice. It's also the quality and also the quality of the coach, the experience of the coach. So I have coaches too, and I'd rather have someone who has gone through a lot of the things and I'm concerned with, and I wouldn't want to be just taught by a coach or coached by someone who knows everything just conceptually from the books, because then I could do something like some people tell me also, well, Renate, I'd rather do it myself because there are so many courses and there's so much training on the internet. Yeah, you could. But question is, why would a top singer, why would a top actor or actress, why would a top entrepreneur, why would a top Olympian hire a coach or a team of coaches? Because the information is out there. The information to grow your business, to have more leads, etc., is on the internet. Lots of free trainings, lots of inexpensive trainings out there. How to run better, how to train for a marathon. It's all out there. How to sing better, how to use your voice better. It's all out there. But why would they hire a coach or even a team of coaches, right? Any ideas? Because I don't want just to talk, Let's see what you have to say, what you feel about it. Anyone? Well, for me, I would say, of course you can do it on your own. But with a coach, it's much faster. You kind of reduce the percentage of trial and error, right? A great coach asks you questions you might not have thought about and gives you a different idea, a different perspective. What's important? A good coach might also stimulate you even more to grow exponentially, right? From the inside, not just because you're told, or not just because you see it on the internet somewhere, right? Okay. So what else did I write down I wanted to talk about? Yeah, so there's lots of free training on the internet. I also put lots of free training out here. There's free training, like if you suffer from back pain, how to immediately help yourself with some tapping, some breathing exercises. So there's lots of free stuff I offer as well on my website, renate-brandl, mykajabi.com. But if you really want to make change, you have to follow through. You have to stay consistent. You have to have some discipline. You have to block time. You have to choose and get a coach, a mentor, helping you to stay on track, right? So again, the question, how can we stay consistent and committed to goals and schedules? If nothing works, if you have already written your goals in detail, if you already work backwards what needs to happen, if you have written down steps you have to do, then you have already picked one and implemented. If you have already blocked time in your calendar, blocked time and an alarm in your phone to remind you, and nothing works, you're still distracted, then my friend, maybe it's really a great time to get a coach and invest in yourself. Otherwise you will just stumble around, and in a few months from now you will see like, oh my God, if I had listened to Renate and if I had gotten some coaching. And today I'm not offering you my elite performing high performance coaching program. I offer the chance to get at a very reduced price to get a one-on-one coaching strategy session with me, where you really find more clarity, more energy, work on courage and fear, productivity and influence in your specific situation. And you also get some doable tools and written feedback. So this is the whole package for this price. The special link, it's https renate-prandl.mykajabe.com/offers/ then in block letters offers /WHD, all in block letters, number 4, small letter F, 2, small b, 2, and I will post it down there as well. But you don't have to. If you want to dabble around and if you want to figure it out on your own, that's fine by me. It's your choice, right? And I know it's not for everyone. I get this. Okay, what else? Yeah, I also promised some other tools. So I already mentioned, how to write down the goals, how to block the time, how to choose, how to really use your mindset to be disciplined. So how can you show up differently and be a leader and be stronger and have more self-belief and more resilience? So I want you to think of 3 words describing your very, very best self. If you were dead, God forbid, but if people were, if these words were on your tombstone, or people would talk about you like, Renate was like this, she was always like a person like that, or Shafakat, I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly, or Susan, she was a person like ABC. So 3 words, and I want to write them down. 3 words. So for me, okay, just a second. Write them down and I come back to those later. Ricardo, I have a question. Can you give me some advice, like how I can cope with stress and how to get my goals? Great question, Ricardo. I hope you're safe. And stress also very often has to do with not having the discipline to focus on the things which are important and getting rid of things which are not important. Number 1. I know that sounds very harsh, but lo and behold, isn't it that sometimes we stress about things which are not really important right now? So focus on the things which are really important, and let's get rid of things which are not so important, and maybe also get rid of people who sounds very flippant, I know, but distance yourself from people who stress you out, and focus on your goals, on who you are as a person. And this exercise, like 3 words describing your very, very best self, these are very useful when dealing with stress. For me, one of the words is honest, so that I'm honest. So what are the 3 words for you? Because they count no matter what other people tell you and stress you out. So very often stress is because of lack of discipline and focusing on so many things instead of focusing on the things which are very important. Number 2 is breathing. Breathing and meditation. And let's do a meditation exercise. I hope you do not drive. People, if you drive, please don't do this right now. But if you're in a safe place, just bear with me. And I want to do this two things. First of all, breathing. Breathing, when you breathe, make sure you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. And taking a deep breath does not mean like lifting the shoulders. Place your hands on your stomach. When you breathe in through your nose, let your stomach come out. When you breathe out, your stomach goes in, and you breathe out through your mouth. Okay, let's do this a few times. You can close your eyes if it's safe. So you breathe in. When you breathe in through your nose, really push out the stomach. It's called diaphragmatic breathing. It slows down your pulse. Your mind gets quieter, and this helps dealing with stress. And you can do this during the day as many times as if you like. So a few or maybe 5-10 times. So hands on your stomach, that you really feel it. Shoulders not up or down, shoulders stay where they are. And breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, stomach out, breathing out. Stomach in, breathing out. Breathe in the good stuff. Breathe out the bad stuff. Breathe in something that makes you happy. Breathe out something you want to get rid of. Think of something nice when you breathe in. Smile. Breathe out. One more time. Breathing in, stomach out. Smile. Breathe out. Right. How does that feel, right? Do this often, especially when you feel like you're stressed or before you have a stressful situation. It helps you to quieten your mind. It helps you get clearer and focusing. Your heartbeat goes down, which is also usually up when you have a lot of stress. Then number 2 is the 3 power words. And think of these 3 power words. They are you. That's how you. These words are describing the best self, your best self, things you stand for. So write down the 3 words, not sentences, only 3 words. And I do another session with you, which I love to do, to making those power words, especially in times of stress and in times of anxiety work. Very often I do them at the very end of one of my workouts. And I assume you have washed your hands, because you have to touch your face. And we are going to tap. We are using the fingers, and we are going to tap the top of our head, the fontanella. It's the highest part of the face, of the head. How do you know this? You put your hand at the top of your nose, and where your middle finger is, this is where the soft part is. That's the fontanella, a very, very powerful point. So we do just a quick version, right? Here, then we do here, they have those humps here, just under your eyebrows, above your eyebrows, under your eyes, under your nose, on your chin, and then here, just where your clavicles are, under your clavicles, there are some indents, we do them as well. And what we do, we use those 3 words, we repeat every single word 3 times, the 3 power words. It would be my first power word, then it would be honest, it would be another one, 3 times. And when we are here, we add, I am honest, I am honest, I am honest, I am, and then you use your other power words 3 times. Got it? Okay, let's start. So you use your own words. Just use the words. Dum dum dum, dum dum dum, dum dum dum. Dum dum dum, 3 times, 3 times. Dum dum dum, dum dum dum, dum dum dum. Honest, honest, honest. Dum dum dum, dum dum dum. Honest, 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 honest. The other 2 words 3 times. I am honest. I am honest. I am honest. I am dum. 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 Deep Deep breath, bring your arms up. Breathe out. Have a big smile on your face. And again, this helps. This is so simple, this tapping, but it really activates your brain, your mind, and changes the stress hormones, the stress levels. And how to get my goals. I hope this serves you, Ricardo. How to get my goals. Well, this is what we do in high performance coaching in the first session, how to get your goals, what's really important, and what's a big dream of yours, right? And funny enough, lots of people, they know what they don't want, and they don't know what they want. So maybe think of a time when you had big dreams. What were those dreams? Write them down. So sometimes we have to go backwards and start, but what's important? When was a time you had dreams? When was a time it was clear what you wanted to do? Write them down. And you can sit down every single day and write down what comes to mind, because it's not that you get the right answer in one session, in 1 minute. Just write it down and get a nice list. And then pick one which is the most important for you right now, because you cannot do all of them right now. But just find the 3 most important ones for your situation right now, the 3 biggest goals. And as I said earlier to Shafakat, like write down how the goal looks in detail. It could be like, I have so and so much money, and I have this beautiful house. It's white, it has a garden, it has this one, and da da da. So you write it out like you would write the script for a movie. That's another high performance tool we do very, very often. The clearer we are, the more we visualize, the easier it is for the brain to make it happen, to help you stay on track and to get going. All right, hope this helps you, Ricardo. Great question. Hope you're safe, hope you're healthy. Any other questions? Any further questions? Okay, just before I go, just one last word about high performance coaching and why I'm so passionate about it. Because as I said, it addresses the whole person. It's whether your main focus is on your physical well-being right now, or whether you focus more on being the leader or growing your business or growing your relationship, or whether it's about your finances and how to take the right action steps and how to be clear what's next. It addresses everything because the frameworks are the same, right? So that's why I'm so passionate about it. I'm also passionate about it because it's not like, oh, I have this feeling this would help. It's based on science. So it's based on research. It's based on research in adult learning. It's based on, on case studies. So it's based on real life. And it's not just some concept which a guru came up with. This is what I like. I also like that there's kind of a schedule, like a framework. So every session has a topic. Every session has powerful questions. Every session has tools you can implement between those sessions. Because if you're only listening to someone and not implementing, this is not learning. This is not how change happens. This is what I would call like self-help and not self-help. So it really gives you actionable tools like, blocking time, writing out your goals in detail. I also add tapping to up your energy, to lower your stress levels. Find your 3 power words. And by the way, if you have not found your power words, write them down. And it doesn't have to be an exercise for 5 hours. Just think of the 3 words. If people talked about you, describing you with these 3 words, you would be really, really proud. And one last high performance habit. I want you to grab your phone and set those words as an alarm every single day. You can set the alarm at the same time every single day. When you're completely stressed or you are lost or you really need this reassurance. Or you can set them at different times every day. Well, for me, the 3 power words I set every day at 9 a.m. So every day at 9 a.m. the alarm goes off and I see my 3 power words. Very, very powerful. And people like Usher or people like Oprah Winfrey and Ariana Huffington or Richard Branson, they are all coached by my trainer and coach Brennan Bashar, and they all have those words in their phones as well. So if you think this is so simple and it's common knowledge, yeah, lots of success tools are common knowledge and simple. But the difference is between people who are successful and people who are not successful is, do you do them? And by the way, thanks for the love. Thanks for the thumbs up. I guess it's about time to stop. I think what's the time actually? Oh boy, 46 minutes. But I hope this really serves you, my friends. Please feel free to share this, tag someone, go and apply for the strategy session and ask questions, comments. Even if you watch the replay, find your 3 power words, do the work, do the tapping, really tap the power words into your system, into your central nervous system. Put the 3 power words on your phone as a calendar. All powerful tools to help you stay on track, to stay disciplined and eliminate stress, because it's there. You have to not forcefully remember. You're already reminded by all the tools we have. Well, any further questions before we call it a day today? And by the way, thank you all so much for watching. You're already different from other people who are just wasting their time. Because if you just pick one of the tools, the concepts I shared today, and thank you for the great questions also. If you just put just one of them into practice and do this concept consistently every single day, things will change. It will create some momentum. And change loves momentum. Change loves speed. Transformation loves speed. Okay, it seems there are no further questions. So please feel free to go to my Renate mykajabi.com site, grab some free content, apply for the special coronavirus offer for the strategy session. It's not just a session, it's a questionnaire where you really have start to work because I want to give you the best I can in the session. So you have to be clear, or you have to have an idea what some of the areas you're struggling with are. And you also get some written feedback, and you get some more actionable steps, not just block time, tap in your power words, and other things to show up with more courage and with more purpose probably. Okay, thank you for watching. And as I said, thank you, because you're already taking charge of your life. You're already choosing to be different. And looking forward to serving you again. My name is Renate Prandtl, and as a high-performance coach, Feldenkrais practitioner and sports coach, my mission is to help you make those obstacles into stepping stones and reach the next level consistently, without stress, without burnout, and serving as your very, very best self. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Dankeschön. Auf Wiedersehen.